Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today we are back with another Enlisted video. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most overpowered squads for BR3, and this is the MG13 with the drum magazine. To be exact, a 75-round drum magazine. And as you can already see within the first few seconds, this is kind of overpowered, considering most guns at BR3 have 20, or to the extent of the best German gun that we have, that is 50 rounds. So a 75-round drum magazine on an MG13, which arguably is pretty good. What could possibly go wrong? But that said, let's just get started with the history. This unit, the 343rd Infantry Regiment of the 138th Infantry Division, was a division formed in the 7th wave of mobilization in November 1939 in Württemberg. It participated in the French campaign in 1940 and then it was relocated to Bohemia, where it participated in the invasion of Yugoslavia. In June of 1941, it participated in the invasion of the USSR as part of 20th Army Corps. The division fought near Smolensk and Moscow, and by October 22nd, 1943, the 183rd Division has suffered multiple losses. It and two other divisions were formed into Corps Detachment C, and the unit itself was disbanded. It was then sent to Army Group North Ukraine in 1944, said detachment, and it was then destroyed in the Brody Pocket. It was then reformed in September of 1944 as the 183rd Volksgrenadier Division, and that is all we have in terms of the history. In terms of the history of the weapon itself, the Dreyse machine gun series, which was developed in 1907 to honor Dreyse, the inventor of the famous Dreyse needle rifle, was a model of a machine gun of similar type. It was then improved in 1912 and in 1918, with the final version being modified into the MG13. Unlike its heavier tripod and mounted water-cooled predecessors, the MG13 became Germany's first standard light machine gun from 1930 to 1935. It was then obviously replaced by the MG34 and the MG42. The MG13 itself had a double crescent trigger that allowed semi-automatic and fully automatic fire without having a selector switch. It fired from a closed bolt and an internal hammer. The MG13s were then exported to Spain, used by Franco's forces, and Portugal and China. Although phased out before World War II, it was reused in the second-line German units and used in the Panzer I turrets. Portugal also used the weapons during their colonial war. That said, let's move on to the stats. This weapon, the MG13 with a drum magazine, is chambered in 7.92, hit power of 13.2, rate of fire of 660, reload time of 2.6, shot deviation of 32, recoil control of 10, vertical recoil of 25, horizontal recoil of 18, and has a 75-round magazine, which is insanely good. And of course, it has auto and semi-automatic. That said, let's move on to the verdict, which is very, very simple. For those who haven't figured out by now, I have been telling you to get this as soon as possible with the sale, and because it is on a sale, I highly suggest that you get it. Unfortunately for you guys, the sale is now completely over, and so that is a little bit an issue, and as a matter of fact, this video should have come out before the sale ended, but for some reasons, complications and whatnot, this has not been possible. That said, this weapon is one of the best weapons out there. If you have not got this during the sale, I feel really sorry for you. And if you are a free-to-play player, then it's alright. But in all reality, this is an MG13 slapped with a 75-round magazine. The only difference compared to this weapon and the MG34 is that the MG34 has a better rate of fire. This thing has a much slower rate of fire and it's kind of noticeable, and the recoil is also going to be a little bit problematic. Most notably, the fact that the horizontal recoil is going to kill you if you start moving and firing at the same time. An issue that I found not so prevalent on the MG34 while firing and moving. That said, this gun is mainly used as a stationary position. It's 75 rounds, it's good for chewing around enemies, and most enemies don't even know what hit them. Hip firing with this thing is also a good idea because this thing has 75 rounds, so you can essentially do spray and pray, and honestly, at this point in game, your life is more important than the ammunition, in the sense that you can literally refill your ammunition because it has an engineer and an anti-tank gunner for this squad, so you can literally pop down ammo boxes and just fire and pray. Honestly, this is one of the best guns out there. It is on par with the Colt Monitor, but the Colt Monitor is good for different reasons. This just has the amount of ammunition to kill an entire squad within seconds and kill another squad within another seconds without even having to reload. And speaking of the reload, this reload is extremely quick. It is as quick as the original MG13, which makes this thing practically insane. As a matter of fact, I found myself in positions in which it should not have been possible to reload this quick, and I still murdered an entire squad. Without further ado, this is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.